basically differentiated two different ways, two primary ways. The primary way in many parts of the world, France, Italy, Spain, Portugal,
Greece,
largely Europe, is geographic. In other words, take this bottle of wine. There's a lot of, you see the...
Hold it for lad.
Below, oh yeah, okay, below the big name of the big writing on the thing, there's words. They say Appellation Côte de Rhône Contrôlée, right? You see that? Mm-hmm. That's put on there by the French government. That tells you, A, where the wine is from. Remember I said geographically. That's from the Rhône River Valley in France. Côte means hills, the hills, but it's a geographical area. Within that geographical area, they grow different types of grapes, different types of wines. However, because it's a geographical area, certain grapes grow better in this area, and that's what helps to differentiate the wines. Those words, Appellation Contrôlée, on a French bottle of wine, and there are words like that on Italian bottle of wine, Denominazione di Origine, and Spanish and Portuguese wines. The words are remarkably similar. They tell you that A, the wine is where the label says it's from, and also the governments have a little guarantee of technical quality. Not necessarily to your palate, you may not like it, but technically, vinosity, tannin content, all this kind of stuff, there's levels that are applied before the government will put that on it. You just can't go over to the Rhône River Valley, buy a farm, make some wine, and get that label on. You have to be tested to do that. Other thing, right? Let's take this. Okay. This bottle of wine is American. Americans, many of the South American countries, Australia, South Africa, they do their wines a little different. They do what are called varietals. In other words, you see where it says Pinot Noir? Yeah. What that says is that Pinot Noir is a grape, and what that says is that there has to be a certain percentage, I don't know what it is, but a certain percentage of Pinot Noir grapes in that wine. Whereas in other parts of the world, like France, they're free to blend it. They can blend it just to come up with the product they want. When people put a varietal name on there, they have to put a certain percentage of that wine in there. There's also, on the front of the label, there's down the bottom it says something about carneros. You see the word?
Right.
I don't know what it's surrounded by. Carneros is someplace in California. I don't know where. You can get more specific. There's probably
Sonoma.
more specific than Sonoma. Okay. What that means is that a certain percentage, I don't know if it's 100, but it's majority of the grapes have to be grown there. Okay, now you've heard about vintages. Vintages are totally unimportant unless you're buying wine to lay it down. Vintages are, when they say it was a great vintage, what they mean it was a great vintage to take the wine, lay it down, keep it for 10 years, 20 years. Right. Otherwise, basically, you buy a wine, if you're buying a wine to drink, you don't really have to pay that much attention to vintages. What you do pay attention to is geographical origin. Because in all of this, the one common thread, whether it's an American bottle or a European bottle, is that they always tell you where the wine is geographical origin. The one rule is that the more specific the geographical origin is, the better quality, again, in terms of technical things about the wine itself, the better the quality of the wine is going to be. In other words, California, Central Coast, Sonoma County, Napa Valley, Alexander River Valley.
Dry creek, dry river.
Yeah, it just keeps getting, the more specific you get, the better quality the wine will be technically. And the only other thing you do, and the only other rule I have about buying wine is that basically, with a very few exceptions, and I'm sure there are there, if you want a decent bottle of wine, spend $10. Anything you spend up from there might be gravy, whatever, but spend $10 if you want to buy a bottle of decent wine. If you want to drink wine every day, just find something you like.
Yeah.
That's all. Lessons over.